Hey, how's everybody doing out there tonight? We're getting close to hockey season here, and we just did a podcast on the transactions that the Islanders have done in the last few days. Seven transactions. If you want to see that podcast, I just posted it up on Twitter. Uh, Let's see here. All right. So, what we're going to be talking about right now is the World Junior Championships. It was held at a very odd time in August, which never happens. But with crazy COVID, we got a World Junior Championships, and we're going to get another one in about 5 months. So that's the weird, quirky part to it, and everything about it. But there was some positives for us in that department. William Dufour got a chance to represent Canada, where he wasn't on the team at Christmas time. So that was a positive for the Islander organization, especially after the year that William Dufour just had in junior. What a way to cap it off! Congratulations going out to William Dufour with his gold medal. Canada beating Finland in overtime to grab that gold medal, and an unbelievable save by Mason McTavish. It was even better than Pollock's one against Tampa Bay. It was an amazing thing to see. It was and then Canada went down the ice and scored. Felt My heart was broken for Finland, and that's where our other three prospects are from. We had Aatu Ratu putting on a show. We'll get to him in a minute here, and we also had Liukas, who I'll talk about him a little bit later too. He did better than I thought, and I hope I don't trash this name, but I think Rajnimi. I think that's the way to say it. He didn't get very much action, but I'm going to go down in the order of we'll start at Luke Dufour and then we'll go to Aatu Ratu. I was really impressed with Luke Dufour. Or no, I don't know why I always want to say Luke Dufour. I should ask people on this podcast. Is there anybody named Luke Dufour? I don't know because I always want to call him Luke. Anyway, William Dufour for Canada had a very solid tournament. 3 goals, 4 assists in 7 games. So uh, he was put on the third line as a checking line, and there he was as a 56 goal scorer, and Roy on his other wing, who led the QMHL in scoring this year, and Ridley Gregg is well on that line. And I don't know if you could really call them a checking line, but that's the assignment that they were given. It happens every year in the WJC. All the time. All these guys are playing in positions that they're not used to normally playing because they've been the stars of their team the whole time. Uh, anyway, this is the first time I've got a real good chance to watch a lot of Luke Dufour. Got to see him in the Memorial Cup and watched all those games, and was pretty impressed with him. And no doubt he had an amazing season. 56 goals. He wins the Memorial Cup, wins the World Junior Championships. I don't know if anything could be better than what he had. And I got to tell you, getting that chance to finally see Will play some games, and I was actually really surprised at 2 things. One was his speed. I wasn't expecting him to be that fast for a big man, and he's fast. But I'll also talk about what happens to his speed as he goes on. So my initial impression was really, really excited to see the speed he had, and he had a lot of really good jump as well as he was forechecking and whatnot, and I really like that a lot. Uh, so that was exciting to see. And the other thing is his passing ability, which kind of took me off guard. I wasn't expecting that at all. He had some amazing plays that he set up that just the guys didn't cash them in, and he was doing it game after game after game after game, setting up I mean, beautiful passing plays, and they just weren't scoring. I told you one thing about William Defore's speed, that I was impressed at how fast he could be, especially straight line. Once he got chugging, he was a force to be noticed, and he doesn't mind using his big body either to hit, so he will do that. However, I did notice that, and it took me a while to figure it out, because one moment I thought, oh geez, William Dufour is really fast, and then all of a sudden I'd see a play and I'd go, wow, he seems really slow. And from what I really concentrated on that, and I came down to the conclusion what happens is around the 30-second mark of his shifts, that big body starts to wear down, and when it wears down, it the energy level goes in a hurry. So it's going to be utmost important for William Defore not to get caught out on long shifts, because when he all of a sudden gets caught out on a long shift, his body really suffers with the speed department and the quickness and everything. So that's what was catching me off guard, and it was really odd. So, uh, but it was because he was put in a forechecking role he's never been in before too, and he may not used to be doing that. Usually, stars in Junior A they can coast, and there's no coasting in the World Junior Championship. So anyway, I was originally impressed, and I still am impressed with his speed because it's good. It's just he's getting used to that big frame that he's got, and he's basically a man right now, and he's probably the most physical ready of any of our prospects to go right into the NHL, if they were going to. I don't think anybody is. Well, maybe one, and that'll be the next guy that I talk about. But yeah, overall, I was really impressed with Defore. He was a real big team player. He got zero power play time. Well, that's not true. I think he came out. Probably had about 20 seconds of power play time. Twice he came out with about 10 seconds left in the power play and when they'd kind of given up. So basically, he had no power play time. However, he also was given a ton of penalty killing time, and that's where he racked up most of his minutes. A lot of times in the games, Canada took a lot of penalties, so. Yeah, and he did a great job. He really did, and he never really got caught out hard on the PK because he was keeping the shift short, 20, 30 seconds, especially on the PK. So yeah, I was really impressed with William Defore with his whole World Junior Championship. He really capped off his junior career with talk about doing it in style. That what a way to leave your junior career after the career that Defore just had. So congratulations going to William Defore with his gold medal. Next up, we got Atu Ratu, and wow. Impressed with Ratu, but in a different way than I was with Defore. It's quite obvious that Ratu has what I would call polish. He's very he's slick. He's smooth. He's got polish. He's got that little potential star kind of polish to them, that it's possible that this kid could end up being a star. It's very possible. He really controlled the play when he was out there. The only two bad games, well, and I won't even call them bad, it was just because Canada did such a good job, and William Defore was one of those guys who was given the assignment to shut down the Ratu line, and they kind of did. Ratu got an assist in the in the round robin game. I don't think he got anything in the finals because the Defore line just they just shut him down, went toe to toe. The Defore line actually outscored Ratu's line in both games of when they went head to head in that. So we had one prospect beating the other prospect, but when they weren't playing Canada, but don't get me wrong, Ratu didn't play bad against Canada. He just was shut down by a really good team. So he wasn't playing bad at all. He was making some nice plays. You can tell he likes to carry the puck. He likes to be that guy, making all the zone entries and everything. Lord knows we need zone entries on the Islanders. So it's nice to be able to have a guy who can carry the puck over the blue line. So real slick passing from Atu. He's got some really good vision and very smooth, while he's executing it. And it is really a nice looking hockey player. And I think we can all be really excited about Atu Ratu coming up. And of course, he was second in the scoring for the longest time until Canada just exploded with a bunch of goals in a bunch of games. And two or three guys passed him from Team Canada because they scored so many goals. But so basically he was the second leading scorer in the tournament for right up to the very end last game. So congratulations going out to Atu getting himself a silver medal, and he might be making some GMs kind of shake their head. It still baffles my mind how a guy at a start of a season, I know it was COVID and it was really hard to judge people and everything, but how a guy can go from possible first overall pick to 52nd in the draft, I'll never know. Like the original assessment of him, even with all that COVID stuff out there, couldn't have been that bad. But hey, our game, that's for sure, because that was basically our first rounder at 52nd because we didn't have the first round pick. So I think we got a diamond in the rough for sure. Ratu looked really great out there, and I should say one thing from both the guys. Both Ratu and Dufour, their defensive side was excellent. They were playing defense as well as given their offense. Now Dufour's line was kind of sacrificing a bit of their offense for the defense, but hey, that's what you got to do sometimes. But it's nice to see that both our guys were really good on their teams, and they really absolutely 100% looks really solid out there. So basically I'm giving both these guys a plus because they had excellent tournaments. It can only help them. The one bad thing of the whole thing is that in the final gold medal game there, I think Atu took out a couple of Will's teeth, so it is sick. It was purely accidental, but somebody was somebody's supper at the in the preseason and training camp. I think that is if Dufour can eat with this teeth. So I'm sure it'll be fixed by then. But yeah, so really solid WJCs from both Dufour and Ratu. That brings us to Liukas, and I'm going to be real honest with you here. Liukas, I believe, was sat in the very first game of the tournament. It was either the first game or the second game. I can't remember. I should mention that I seen every Canadian game. I did miss one Finnish game. So in the game, I don't know how Liukas did in this game. And I do know Ratu probably played pretty good because he got 3 points in the game that I didn't see. So I could be a little harsh, maybe that extra game, and it was a big one for them too. They scored 9 goals, even though you can't really judge a whole lot off of when a team is wiping another team out like that. It makes it kind of tough. But anyway, to say that, so he quietly came into the tournament. And then I finally started hearing his name and started noticing him, and I got his number down and that, and I'm watching. Nothing really stuck out to me. It's just another good hockey player on a world junior team. Now, those kind of players turn out to be a dime a dozen. And just to give you an example, how you can never really even judge from the World Junior Championships. Thomas Hickey, he was captain of Team Canada, and he went 4th overall. And we all know what kind of career Thomas Hickey had. So World Juniors doesn't tell everything. So it can be a good gauge for sure. Like Team Canada had a line of Mark Scheifele, Mark Stone, and Jonathan Huberdeau. Now all 3 of those guys turned out to be great, but not everybody in World Juniors does, and that's just the way it is. But it's great experience for both our guys, and even for Liukas too. And but the thing I did notice about Liukas was as the tournament went on, all of a sudden he started becoming pretty noticeable, and he was basically on their second line. You might want to even call it the third line, but they were a big line, and Liukas likes to hit, which is wow. he's a Finn, and if you got a Finn who likes to hit, that's a good combination. Let me tell you, he really started to stick out, and he almost had the big play on the overtime. Would have been gold medal goal for Finland if McTavish didn't take that off the stick. What a pass he made to set that up, and he should have had the primary assist on the gold medal goal, but McTavish robbed them and they went the other way, and the rest was history. But I really noticed Liukas in the last two games, which is sometimes even better because as the competition ramps up, if a player's playing good with the ramped up competition, then you get a whole lot better gauge of the player. And Liukas was absolutely solid in his last two games. I'm not going to say he's like, don't expect, just might possibly be a really good NHL player someday. He's a big boy, and he likes to hit. He likes to hit, and he's got some talent too. He only got 2 assists in the tournament, but he played his role real well with the Finns. So good tournament for Liukas. Everybody can't get the top line minutes in the tourney, so good for him. And the last one, I hope I don't trash his name, I believe is Nimi. He ended up with 1 assist in the tournament, and he missed the first game with Liukas as well. And then the difference between Liukas and Nimi is that Nimi barely played when he was in the game. I remember one game he played 1 minute and 20 seconds in the entire game. He was definitely being sheltered for sure. So he didn't get a whole lot of minutes in. The one thing I couldn't find, it disappeared. I had the stat on it at one time, was time on ice, but Rajanimi didn't. Rajanimi, yeah, he didn't get much ice time, so it's pretty hard to judge him. But you know what? Any of your guys or your prospects that make it on a World Junior Championship team, they have the possibility of someday being an NHL player. Doesn't happen for all of them, but let's hope for the best for our Islander one. So overall, fantastic World Junior Championships for the Islander organization. I thought Dufour and Ratu were outstanding. I'll probably give the nod a little more to Ratu than Dufour, but they had 2 totally different styles going there. One nice thing about Dufour and Ratu is they like to shoot, but they are also really good passers. They both ended up with 17 shots in the tournament. So I noticed that they have no problem taking a shot at the net. So we got to like that coming into the island, on the island for sure. So, and then we got Liukas. He's I guess the best way I could put it now would be like a better Matt Martin, a younger Matt Martin kind of style of play. And he's young, so holy smokes, what's he going to grow into? And Rajanimi, I don't really have much to report on him. I didn't get much visual of him in the game or concentration on him, because whenever he did get on the ice, I didn't hear his name much, and he wasn't out there very long. It was like 15, 20 seconds, and he's off the ice. So anyway, that was the old eyeball test from the Canadian Islander fans. So I liked what I saw in this tourney for us. I hope it pans out for us in the future. One way or another, I think Bridgeport's going to have an exciting team this year, 100%. Don't forget Ratu and Dufour can both play for the Bridgeport Islanders this year. So that could be really exciting. And I guess I would mean the same for Liukas as well. I don't know if we've signed him yet. I'd have to check into that. I don't think we have, but yeah, it's possible that he could play there if we do sign him to one of our contracts. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Overall, you got to be really happy with what the Islander prospects did in this tournament. Future is looking bright. The cupboard was starting to look pretty bare in the prospects. It's nice to see that we got a couple of guys starting to show their stuff here. Now the big question is, will they be able to take that next step, which is always the hardest step, and that's getting to the NHL. So they're right on the cusp now, and they're looking good. And so yeah, it's nice to have some people in the cupboard for us right now. So anyway, that's all I got now on the prospects at the World Junior Championships. Overall, I give it an A for our guys. Well done. And congratulations to Dufour on his gold medal and our three Finns with their silver medal. So that's all I got for you for now. Everybody, you guys out there and girls, take care and peace out.